Hey, it's Anita, and this is the Anita Posch Show. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining me again to another episode of the Anita Posch Show. Today's topic is Bitcoin ATMs. What is a Bitcoin ATM? So basically, it's something where you can exchange your fiat money like US dollars or euros or any other currency to Bitcoin. My guest is Derek Muhney. Derek is the Director of Strategy and Marketing at CoinSource. And CoinSource is the world's largest Bitcoin ATM network in the world. Let's hear it for Derek after a short break from my sponsors. And as always, you can watch this interview as a video on YouTube, and you can also listen to it on the go in my podcast. You can find that on all major podcast players. The links to subscribe are at anita.link/subscribe. And now on to the sponsors and then to the show. In the age of surveillance, data collection and cybersecurity attacks, it is important to secure your online traffic. That's why I use ExpressVPN to safeguard my personal data. ExpressVPN is an app that funnels your data through a secure encrypted tunnel so that no matter what device you use, you can have peace of mind every time you use the internet. If you visit expressvpn.com/Anita right now, you can arm yourself with an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Hello, Derek. Welcome to the Anita Posch Show. Thanks for doing this interview with me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Derek, please start with a short introduction of yourself. What are you doing and what's the company, CoinSource, you're working for? What are they doing?
Well, I'm the Executive Vice President of Sales for CoinSource, and we're the world's leading Bitcoin ATM operator, both on the operations side of it as well as the software and development side of it. We've got over 1,000 Bitcoin ATMs here in the United States, and are definitely expanding internationally, and also have a multitude of new products also that we're about to be launching as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think you joined CoinSource in 2016, if I got that right.
Correct.
Since when is CoinSource in the space?
So CoinSource is 5 years old. We started out pretty typical as far as during that time how most Bitcoin ATM companies started out, utilizing third-party software solutions, white labeled, Bitcoin wallet, decentralized wallet to offer to our customers. And we really started with just one kiosk actually in Las Vegas, Nevada. And since then, in the 5 years, we've actually gone from utilizing, as most Bitcoin ATM operators still do to this day, a lot of third-party software solutions and just really overall operation solutions to 100% in-house. We developed our own operating software, our own proprietary KYC and AML, which is Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering software and identification verification technology. And since then, we've actually been able to release a new product, which is our platform as a service. And it's a completely turnkey, white glove service solution to anybody wanting to own their own Bitcoin ATM network as well. So not only are we owner operator, but we're also really excited about being the processing foundation to anyone that's looking to own their own network as well in the sphere.
Okay, so it's basically a white label Bitcoin ATM network.
Well, we have,
Like
it's a white glove. It's a white glove. We can yes, we do white label for a lot of our clients that have opted to own their own networks. Say they're traditional ATM owners, for example. We've got a lot of those as clients, and a lot of them like to brand their networks to their traditional ATM branding, and And a lot of others want to, kind of get into this sphere that may not even have their own traditional ATM network. They're just an entrepreneur, and they want to own their own Bitcoin ATM network, and they can white label that as well. We also do have clients that opt for utilizing CoinSource's branding, just because everyone knows us here in the States as far as having the lowest rates, the lowest average index price of Bitcoin. We've never once artificially inflated the price of Bitcoin, never have and never will. Unfortunately, we do see quite a bit of operators that are doing that. And so we really have prided ourselves on our transparency of our model. And that's what's pretty exciting, is that the clients get to choose if they want to stay with a CoinSource branded kiosk or if they want to white label it themselves.
Okay, let's get back a step to your personal Bitcoin journey. How did you find out about Bitcoin? When and what were you fascinated about?
Well, there's a lot of fascinating things about Bitcoin, that's for sure, in the industry. Our CEO, Sheffield Clark, I had met him for a business meeting, actually, for a different business at the time that I was spearheading in 2014. And we just maintained contact ever, from that point on. And I know that he has, obviously a very successful and accomplished entrepreneur. He owned his own traditional ATM network, and whenever he started CoinSource, it was a pretty fascinating conversation that I was able to have with him about, he knows that I'm in tech startups. I'm, mobile relationship management background, CRM pedigree background, and tech startups. And then here he was doing him and his partners doing a tech startup as in the Bitcoin ATM sphere. So it was a pretty fun conversation to have with him, and I've been a part of the company ever since.
Oh, understand. And what is the most fascinating part of Bitcoin for you? Why did you want to join the Bitcoin space?
It really does come down to our overall company, core, as far as just, realizing that there are so many individuals out there that are looking to diversify the way that they manage their finances. And, I love technology. I love, I love being able to be on the forefront of these, solution centric, customer facing technologies that are able to really make people's lives, a lot easier. And I feel that Bitcoin is really at the core of that, and really at the core of just the future of how we view not only just technology but finance, how we view managing our finances and diversifying those finances. I think that Bitcoin is just it's definitely has proven itself to be really just the gold standard as far as cryptocurrency in the industry goes.
And I found a tweet of you. What was the funniest reaction you got when you were wearing your I Love Bitcoin hat?
So I was just actually on my honeymoon in Mexico, and I was wearing that hat. And here I am just walking on the beach with my wife, and I get random people that are yelling, "Hey, it's the Bitcoin guy! It's the Bitcoin guy!" And so people are coming up to me and asking me questions about it, and yeah, it always gets a lot of attention. So it's fun. It's definitely a conversation piece, that's for sure. Every time I wear it, a lot of fruitful conversations.
Yeah, that's true. So, how has 2020, the pandemic in 2020, affected your company? Has it, and if, in which way?
Well, I definitely would say that, given the pandemic, it's affected really just, global markets in every kind of aspect, whether it's for the positive or for the negative. Fortunately for CoinSource and our business model, excuse me, we utilize a lot of data determining, where we like to place our machines, and we're a very data driven company. And so we have always strategically placed our kiosks in essential businesses. So during the pandemic and a shutdown, not only were seeing a major spike in people wanting to utilize our kiosks, given the everyday low rates, the lowest average index price of Bitcoin, the convenience factor, and the fact that they were located in businesses that were remaining open during shutdowns and what have you. But in addition to that, the fact that we developed our own software, and part of that includes a feature of a remote mobile enrollment, to where we require all of our customers to create an account before they can use our kiosks, and it takes about 3 to 4 minutes typically. And it's a basic know your customer, right? And but they can utilize that remote account creation in the privacy and comfort of their own home, on their living room couch in their pajamas, riding a subway, what have you. So what that did during this pandemic was actually allow them to go through that process without having to stand inside of a gas station or a convenience store, or what have you, for an extended period of time while they're going through that account creation. They've already had that done and completed. So by the time that our customers go to a location to utilize our kiosk, their average transaction time is actually less than 60 seconds. So we've got our customers in the way that we have our model that are in and out, in a very quick amount of time. And we feel that that is definitely a major benefit in people that are really conscious right now about wanting to be out in public, and extending periods of times in public places.
And have you seen an uptick in people who are using your ATMs, or did it stay the same?
Yeah, I definitely would say that we saw an uptick. I just think that really, this pandemic has opened up the eyes of most everyone, with not only, what to prepare for in situations like this, just from on the home front side of it, but also on how they're managing their finances. Look at what happened to the traditional markets when really the shutdowns first began. I mean, it was just a total uh, nightmare for the traditional markets, and people are looking to really diversify their financial portfolios, and not put all their eggs in one basket, and really really look to the future, to what where not only trends are going, but where they feel safe and comfortable. And we've been seeing all different demographics. Part of the great thing about our model is obviously that we know our customer, right? And we have seen all walks of life, from Wall Street to baby boomer retirees, to millennials, to Gen Zers, all looking for their own individual and very interesting and unique reasons, kind of pivoting over into the Bitcoin sphere, whether it be for their day-to-day finances in life, for the unbanked, the underbanked, or if it's for diversifying a retirement or trust portfolio for the baby boomers and retirees I was mentioning, or for people that are just looking to diversify, how they invest or how they store their funds. It's a great store of value as well.
Do you have numbers? I mean, I'm sure you have numbers, but maybe the question is, can you tell us those numbers? The average transaction size or exchange, the size of one exchange on an ATM on average?
With the size footprint that we have, we allow our customers to be able to purchase as little as $5 in one day of Bitcoin, and as much as $5,000 US each day in Bitcoin. And so we definitely see kind of a wide array of different transaction sizes. A lot of people are definitely really, really excited to be utilizing, the lowest fees in the industry and no inflated price of Bitcoin. So there's a lot of people that actually do the $5,000 limit. There's a lot of people that are kind of dipping their toes in the water, so to speak, and want to just try out not only buying Bitcoin, perhaps for their first time. And what's great is that we've got live customer support 7 days a week that are always there to help the first time buyers, or new to Bitcoin, new to the realm. And we've got a huge knowledge base and FAQs and live support that helps them. But some of them actually really just try with a $5 transaction. They just want to know how it works. And and that's what's great about our model, is that it's very easy. It's a 3-step process at the kiosk. You're completed in less than 60 seconds, and you're off and running with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think it's important to mention that you can exchange as little as $5, because people tend to believe it's too late for them because they never can afford one Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I get
but
that. I
you,
get that a lot. You're right.
yeah, yeah. And do you have like instructions on the ATMs for somebody who's completely new, like a video or something where you can see how to buy and exchange the money?
Yes,
Because
we not only do we have videos on our website, but we also have the step-by-step instructions on the kiosk screen itself. It's got a, the kiosk itself is a fantastic device. It's got a 21-inch touch screen. It's very easy to read. It's very easy to use as well. Regardless if you're tech savvy or you've never even heard of a Bitcoin ATM before, it's we made the process when we developed it as user friendly as possible. We're very, very customer centric as far as that goes, and just the whole user experience. We wanted to optimize that experience for our customers.
and do you also explain customers how to set up their own wallet on their smartphone? Because that's the one requirement, they need a wallet on their smartphone.
Correct. Yes, and we do. So with CoinSource, we are wallet agnostic. We don't require you to use a specific wallet. Some operators actually do, believe it or not. We feel that it's we want to have that decision and that choice be in our customers' hands. So regardless of its one of the many available wallet apps in the Apple Store or Android, or even perhaps a cold storage hardware wallet that's got a QR code. I mean, I use that actually a
Oh,
handful of times in some demonstrations whenever I do it. When we're at conventions. We're diamond sponsors with some traditional ATM organizations, and whenever we do conferences there and we are demoing our kiosk, I pull out my cold storage wallet with the QR code just to show the capabilities of our scanner on our kiosk that it could scan anything from that type of a cold storage QR code to even paper wallets. We don't provide paper wallets to our customers just because the dangers of risky and losing it and
exactly.
leaving it in your pants and then putting it through the wash, and the next thing you know, you've lost your funds. So we do that from a kind of protecting our customer standpoint. However, our software and our hardware are obviously more than capable. If somebody does have a paper wallet and they want to utilize that, they can. We just don't recommend that, but they can definitely use any other wallet that they'd like.
Yeah, I would also not recommend a paper wallet, and even more not a one that you do yourself, because it's much too insecure. Yeah, but I never thought about that I could go with my hardware wallet to a Bitcoin ATM, because those days, I mean, I don't have a hardware wallet that can read a QR code by itself, so I would have to connect it to the smartphone, which is possible. So, of course, you can go there with your smartphone and your hardware wallet. So, are these one-way ATMs? So can I only exchange US dollars to Bitcoin, or does it go the other way around too?
We have two-way machines as well, to where you can buy and sell. We strategically place those, regionally, kind of around our one-way machines. What the great news about it is, though, is that utilizing the specific type of kiosks that we do from Gen Mega, which is we've got a wonderful relationship with them as the manufacturer of our kiosks, and should the demand ever pivot over to more individuals are looking to utilize the sell side of the kiosk for cash, then it's as simple really for us as just adding the bill dispenser to the kiosk, just because it is a universal financial services kiosk. And without giving too much away, we're definitely excited about 2021 and a multitude of additional not only services but solutions as well to things such as that. We're definitely excited to be sharing here whenever we announce it shortly. But right now, we actually see the overwhelming demand, though, is people wanting to just buy Bitcoin. Whether they're holding on to it for an investment. Obviously, hey, hodl, right?
Yeah.
Whether they're holding on to it for that, or they're utilizing it as their new kind of investment long-term hub or short-term, or just people that are looking to say, hey, you know what, this is an unheard of store of value that is appreciating exponentially. It's the greatest investment, technology investment in the past decade, and they're realizing that, so they're not really in a hurry to want to sell it right now and cash out. However, we do have that service available at our kiosks that are also strategically placed. You can always tell on our website and other location directory listing sites whenever it says what type of capabilities do those specific locations offer, whether it's buy only or buy and sell. We clearly have them marked on our website to where if somebody is looking to kind of sell and cash out, they can find a location close to them.
I think one of the values of CoinSource is also to support the underbanked with Bitcoin and those new digital currencies. How does this fit together with the KYC requirement for every single transaction? Or do you have thresholds?
Yeah. So what's great about that is that absolutely. I mean, we realize that there is such an overwhelming amount of unbanked or underbanked individuals, here in the U.S., but as well as worldwide, right? I mean, we're talking over 22% here in the United States, and over a third of the world's population doesn't have a bank account or doesn't have the proper amount of banking. So, how do banked individuals, get KYC'd? Of course, they have to provide their identification when they want to create a bank account, and that's where they, have their employer, deposit their payroll checks, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it's a little bit different for the unbanked and the underbanked. However, they still really have this same necessary information and data points for, that are needed to verify their identity, which is obviously a government issued ID. So, we're able to 100% verify. And what's, another good point, talking point about CoinSource is that not only are we hands down the most compliance centric operator out there, that's the reason why we're able to scale so much and offer something that no other Bitcoin ATM operator can, which is this ability for other people to own their own network. Well, we have national banking because of how compliance centric we are. We're the very first Bitcoin ATM operator ever to receive the BIT license from NYDFS in New York, and it's all because we're able to verify the IDs of the unbanked, of the underbanked, of those with bank accounts that are just looking to
Yeah,
utilize
but
our services.
aren't there a lot of people who don't have an ID? What are they
Uh,
doing? I mean,
well,
my
here in the U.S., one, our we do require identification verification. Now, we also accept passport IDs. So there's individuals that don't might be just moved over from the states, what have you, and haven't had their driver's license or their state ID issued to them yet. But where our kiosks are able to scan anything from passports to state issued or federal issued IDs, military IDs, and also with the international expansion. Clearly, when we built out our operating software and technology, we took into account global IDs as well.
Yeah, I mean, in Austria, we at our ATMs, it's free up to 200 euros, no, 250 euros. You don't need KYC. And I think that's quite a good thing because many people, I mean, for these small amounts, I think it's too much of data collection, and you basically have no privacy anymore because, I mean, you will secure those data sets, I'm sure, but as you know, there was the ledger breach in summer. So I think it's quite dangerous, actually, all those data collection. And I would ask, or how is it called in English, ask for companies that they just set up like a small threshold and not over fulfill the regulations, because I think is this really required? Or are you doing this to be one step ahead?
Well, I think that all signs are pointing to a generalized regulation as far as having to verify the identity of individuals, just because unfortunately we'll never run out of examples of bad people taking advantage of good things, right? So there's always going to be an angle of trying to get around loopholes. And so if you reduce the daily limit to not have to KYC somebody, they're going to try and figure out a way to utilize another phone number or something to avoid their ID. And that really raises a question that I don't think many operators have really had the ability or the podium in essence to state, which is if somebody's looking to innocently just buy Bitcoin for a non-nefarious reason, which is the overwhelming amount of individuals that are buying Bitcoin right now, then verifying their identity shouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't think twice about it. I mean, when you think of all the major exchanges out there, the multi-billion-dollar valuation Coinbase, they require you to verify your identity before you can purchase, cryptocurrency on their exchange. And so I feel that it's kind of a combination of both, not only being one step ahead, so to speak, Anita, but I think that it's more along the lines of just knowing where the industry is going, knowing where regulation and when, how regulation is going to be enforced. We also reached out, to our customers before we developed our own software, and we were utilizing third-party software. We did have actually a threshold of $800 US before you verified your ID. However, just with the scaling nature of our business model and how fast that we're growing, and the fact that we're the only operator in the industry that has the fantastic fortune of being able to utilize national banking. We've got bank accounts in all 50 states. And so that's how we're able to, turnkey get people up and running with their own network, is because that's one of the hardest barriers to get across as an owner operator is banking. And the fact that we're as compliant centric as we are has made that relationship as healthy as it is with our bank. And it's because that we are as compliance centric as we are. And we've asked our customers when we did pivot over and said, hey, it used to be $800 or less. You didn't have to verify your ID. We're going to be switching over. We're going to be improving the user experience. We're going to be maintaining the everyday low rates that we offer, maintaining everything that we can provide to our end users for the greatest experience they have in buying Bitcoin with cash. And we asked them, how do you feel? All of our top transactors, and obviously we service, a large amount of the cash to crypto community, being with the size footprint that we have. And we asked them, how do you feel about verifying your identity in return for getting these everyday low rates and prices? And they said, we have no problem with it. So that's really kind of where we wanted to go.
What you spoke about the locations where you are setting up Bitcoin ATMs most of the times. Can you tell us what are good locations for ATMs? And if I would be interested in setting one up myself or building a network, what would I need to do or to have? What are the requirements?
Yeah, no, great questions. So, again, utilizing a multitude of data, and we've got a large amount of different data points that we use to calculate, optimum location placement. So, without giving away too much to out there, I would say that most of the obvious locations that you would probably naturally assume. Where there's a large amount of foot traffic, perhaps a recognized and kind of an assumed knowledge of a lot of more cash heavy transactions. Where would you expect to go if you were either unbanked, underbanked, were cash heavy, or if you just like to really want to target on high foot traffic? You would probably go to convenience stores and gas stations and things like that. There's some operators that place their kiosks in some pretty interesting and unique locations. And as this pandemic has shown, is that if it's not an essential business, they unfortunately they ran the risk of having their kiosks located in businesses and areas that were you couldn't even access during any kind of a shutdown. So, but the second part of your question, as far as what you need to do, we have laid out in a very easy and very approachable model, our platform as a service, because everyone's heard of a SaaS model, right? Software as a service. We definitely have taken it multiple steps higher than just software as a service. It really is the full platform. On our website, coinsource.net, you've actually there's two different forms that people can fill out. They go directly to our team as far as wanting to either host an ATM. Perhaps you're a brick and mortar store owner and you're interested in having a kiosk in your business and bringing in additional customers and foot traffic in business, by offering a different multitude of different products in your store. Or to your point and question, you want to own your own network. What steps do you need? What do you need to do that from the individuals then when you're approaching CoinSource for that? We walk you through that very easy process. And, we have our teams reach out to individuals that are inquiring on that. And it's a very easy process just because, especially coming from an operator first model, and now we're into the licensing, and our clients are able to utilize the fact that we are a registered money service business with the Financial Crimes and Enforcement Network, which is a branch of the Department of Treasury here in the U.S. Every state that we're in that requires a money transmission license, and this is a huge talking point as well, that not a lot of operators, go through the arduous process like we do to secure those types of licenses. But that's how we've been able to scale as great as we have, is just because of that very compliance centric outlook and model, right? Not only just for on the back end side of compliance, but knowing that obviously if you're in this for the long term and you are really looking to have the true industry leading solution for cash to crypto and vice versa, that having the foundation of all the necessary licenses, that having that national banking relationship to where we're able to get people up and running. I mean, we've had clients that from initially reaching out to us interested in wanting to own their own Bitcoin ATM network, to having their own Bitcoin ATM network online and running transactions in less than 7 days. And that's just unheard of. It's what's taken us years and tons of development, and building an extremely large staff of over 60 people. We're now able to turn this and kind of give it in a white glove service treatment to these individuals, and it's been really, really great.
And say, if I would be a grocery store owner and want to set up a Bitcoin ATM in my shop, what are the costs? Do I have upfront costs to pay for the machine, or are these only like monthly transaction fees, or how's it called? Oh, I only know the German word, but anyhow, is it a fee of all transactions?
So what's
And
great.
sorry, and what can I earn?
Well, if you are a business owner and your business does fit within our model, and all of our data points we use to determine if we want to place a kiosk there. Say you said a grocery store owner. If we feel that it's a great fit, it costs you absolutely nothing. That's another great part of this, is that if you want to host a kiosk, you don't have to pay for anything. Even the internet connectivity, right? The wireless connectivity that the kiosks need, obviously, to perform the transactions, we cover that. Literally, the only thing that's needed from a store owner standpoint is one electrical outlet. That's all we need.
Oh,
And a little less than 2 foot by 2 foot space in their store. Every other aspect we take care of from cradle to grave of the entire operation. That store owner and their employees don't have to worry about absolutely anything. One of the biggest headaches that I hear from traditional ATM owners is the fact that they've every morning, or every other day or every week, they've got to put more vault cash in and monitor the cash, take it to the bank, what have you. From cash logistics, armored car pickups, customer support. That's another great thing, is that this owner is going to say, hey, all right, I've got this in my store now. What happens if somebody has a question, or somebody has an issue, or if there's a problem with their transaction process? What do I have to do? And we tell the owners, you don't have to do anything. Have them contact our live customer support, and we take care of everything for them. So we're not, our customers aren't bothering that store owner, the manager, or their employees. They're able to go about their business, the way that they always have. They're just actually, receiving additional, not only foot traffic, new customers, a new style of customer. They're realizing very quickly, we've gotten so many testimonials from store owners that are saying, not only have I seen an increase in foot traffic in my store from the customers that are utilizing the CoinSource kiosk, but they're also patronizing in the store as well. They're purchasing, what have you, Gatorade, lotto tickets, just they're utilizing where they're at. And in such a multitude that they're not only, the store owners aren't only seeing additional income from that, but we also do compensate them for having the machine in the store. So to your point, we've got a very, very unique model as far as making sure that, just because without the brick and mortar business, CoinSource wouldn't have a business, right? We rely on, great relationships with our store owners to host our machines. And in return, we've got a great partnership that we have that we've built out to make sure that, the sky's the limit as far as what those owners can make, but they have peace of mind knowing that with CoinSource, they've got a guaranteed minimum to what they get paid, regardless of if there's transactions completed at the ATM or not. So, with traditional ATMs, you don't make any money if you don't run transactions. Well, with our model, that store owner still is making money regardless of if they're running transactions or not. And it's definitely a really, really great model. It's a very safe model too for them because they know that, hey, if there's a busy month or a slow month, no matter what, they can rely on CoinSource for making sure that they get paid for, offering that additional service inside of their business, which is great.
And did you have store owners who then started to use Bitcoin as a means of payment? Like, say, they get paid in Bitcoin now too, or did you not convert them in that way?
We've had a handful of owners ask us, so hey, now that I'm able to, in my store, able to sell Bitcoin through the CoinSource kiosk, we've had them ask us, can I accept Bitcoin for payment for other things in my store? And we of course recommend some great solutions that they have for that, and yeah, we've seen it really kind of come full circle to where they're pushing out to their we've got some great national and regional brands, just well-known brands that people really love, and there's large followings to some of them, and one in particular has an awesome social media following. I mean, these for, I would say, as far as savvy and funny social media goes, that a lot of people are aware of, the Wendy's, the fast food restaurant, their social media team is fantastic, right? Well, I would say that next to them, I've been so entertained by following this one national chain that is a client of ours that loves having our machines hosted in their store. They've really had a lot of fun with seeing, the Bitcoin community, interacting with them, knowing that they offer these, our kiosks at their locations, and now they're also beginning to accept Bitcoin for payment. So it really is the full circle. It's been a lot of fun to see.
Great. What is the picture behind you? Who's that?
Oh, I've got a couple canvases here in my office. I'm a big movie guy, so this is Patrick Bate. The character's name is Patrick Bateman, but it's Christian Bale, the actor. It's from the movie American Psycho.
Okay, I just see this smartphone. One can't
Yeah,
say it's a smartphone.
well,
I
it's
only
yeah.
I remember that there was a film, The Snake, I think it was called,
Uh,
with Kurt Russell, I think.
oh, okay.
And it was such a sci-fi thing in the 80s or 80s, yeah. And he also had one like a brick, a
Oh
telephone.
yeah. Yeah, and another one,
Okay.
that phone got famous too from for a lot of movies, but yeah, Wall Street with Michael Douglas, Charlie Sheen, the infamous Gordon Gekko, holding the same kind of phone on the beach. Yeah, it's I just saw it. I don't know. I kind of was a fan of it, so I had to get it.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Derek. Last but not least, please tell us your view, your outlook to 2021. And you're operating in the US only, I think. Are you also thinking about going globally or something?
Yes, so 2021 outlook. Right now, we've got again over 1,000 kiosks here in the U.S., Canada. We're definitely, what we have on our radar as far as 2021 is definitely additional expansion. definitely outside, inclusive of the United States, but as well as, outside of the United States. And we're really excited here. I'll have to come back on your podcast to share some pretty big announcements that we got coming in the pipeline here very, very soon with additional services, since we're able to utilize the fact of, we are our own developer and we have the capability and means to really have a lot of fun with what our capabilities are with that. We're just going to be bringing additional financial services solutions to those unbanked, underbanked that you were mentioning, as well as, a multitude of other different types of customer bases that want to be able to utilize these financial services kiosks. So definitely stay tuned and keep an eye out on, at coinsource.net. But very excited about what 2021 is going to bring as far as our expansion and our additional product line.
Yeah, I think this year will be a wild ride in Bitcoin, huh?
It's going to. I feel. I mean, it definitely started off that way.
Yeah.
With where it's at right now. So, let's see. Do you have any predictions on where, when we're going to be closing out 2021, where it's going to be?
I don't do predictions, but
Good for
I
you. I
yeah
don't even.
no,
Good for you.
I don't, but I think it will go up a little more, but then it will go down again, obviously.
Hmm.
But I mean, I came into the space in 2017, right before the last bull market. So most time I was working in the space was in the bear market. So actually, I'm used to the quietness of the bear market, and so yeah, I'm curious what it's going to be next year.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Likewise. But good for you on the not predicting thing. I like that. I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Okay, great. So Derek, thank you very much. Please tell our viewers where they can find you and CoinSource.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me again on your show, Anita. You can definitely check out, coinsource.net for not only where our interactive map is as far as our kiosks are located, but there's a lot of great information on there for, if you're interested in hosting a kiosk, if you're interested in owning your own Bitcoin ATM. It's definitely a great repository of data and opportunities, as far as, what you're looking for. As far as me, you'll always find me, definitely reaching out to any individual that's interested in both of those solutions. I'm at Derek _James on Twitter, and CoinSource is coin_source on Twitter. Definitely feel free to keep an eye out on us there, and we've got a lot of exciting things to come on 2021.
Great, thank you very much. I will put all the links in the show notes to this episode. And yeah, thank you very much. And you're invited to come back if you have got some news.
Absolutely. Would love to be back on your show. And we will definitely be having some exciting news that will be show worthy here very soon.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks so much for joining today to learn more about Bitcoin. You can find the show notes for this conversation on anita.link/show. If you want to get the best stories in Bitcoin from my point of view automatically in your mailbox, go to anita.link/weekly and subscribe to my newsletter. If you have a question or want to send some feedback, drop me a mail at hello@anitaposch.com. See you next week when it's time for my show. Thanks for listening. Music, start with yes, delicate beats. Content, idea and production, yours truly, Anita Posch.